Reverend Crear, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I really appreciate you coming. And we've been talking about the family's propensity to hurt and the potential to heal. Some people carry around baggage for years from family hurt. And we want to free those people from that by giving them tools in the potential to heal. Now, you've been working with a lot of families in your chaplaincy duties at the hospital, your chaplain duties at the funeral home, and your pastoral duties at the church. So, how have you seen this propensity to hurt, and how do you see the potential to heal?
You know, I've almost concluded that a lot of people don't want to heal
Oh,
for a whole lot of reasons.
okay,
They think they can handle it
okay,
because they're functioning. I'm
mhm,
handling it. But there's a big difference
okay,
between function because we function out of necessity
okay,
and we don't take the time to heal or cannot envision themselves as being healed.
okay,
Last week, 2 weeks back, I had a young man to get killed in an Amazon parking lot.
okay,
And when I had his grandmother to come to the altar for us to pray with her, looked like ghosts started to rise from all the other mothers that have buried children.
oh, wow,
So last Sunday we did Lest We Forget Sunday.
hmm,
And the goal of Lest We Forget was to give those mothers uh, knowledge that they're not alone, that we are still remembering their pain.
okay,
And those mothers brought the big poster-sized pictures of their children,
hmm,
and we lined them across the front of the church. And I used for a subject the secret storm,
okay,
that even though you're functioning, I know you're still hurting,
okay,
and you have our support. So over the years, I've seen several things change. One of the things I've seen change is the crowds don't come like they used to traumatic death funeral.
is that right?
The crowds don't come anymore.
Mhm,
The police used to come.
mhm,
We used to have to give the police the route from the church to the cemetery.
okay,
None of that anymore.
okay.
And so the violence in Chicago almost has been normalized.
Oh,
And so in
yeah, that's so sad.
normalizing the tragedy, you also normalize the ignoring of my pain. And
Okay,
so
okay.
Sunday said to me that I need to do some more grief recovery work
Mhm.
because those mothers went in, they were still hurting. And I used this seven the secret storm. I know they're still going through,
Wow.
but they're functioning because they become grandmothers
Mhm.
at the death of their children. They have other siblings to raise. The job only gives you so many days of grief.
Mhm.
And so even though they know that what they feel is not normal, for those who can remember what normal is,
Mhm. But no, it used to be.
yeah, what it used to be.
Yeah.
And so those of us in the healing business, if you want to call it that, have to acknowledge the fact these people are still hurting and
Mhm.
hurting at a deep level.
Okay.
And it becomes our job to show them you still hurting.
Mhm.
One mother I called Sunday night said, I thought we would see you today. She said, Pastor, I just couldn't do it. And her daughter was killed maybe 3 years ago.
Wow.
She said, there was no way I was going to bring myself to that, even though people called her afterwards and told her how meaningful
Mhm.
it was, that we saluted you for just surviving and still functioning.
Okay. Well, this is what we want to do with the asterisk FC3 is to care for the families. Uh, and the podcast is centered on the propensity to hurt and the potential to heal. So we're talking about family hurt among the family members. You're talking about traumatic hurt um, and tragic sudden deaths, which is one thing. But but what we want to focus on is the propensity to hurt each other and the potential to heal, to come and maybe say, I'm sorry, or let's talk about it, or let's have a discussion. Uh, how have you seen that in the communities that you're working in?
Not long, not long ago, I wrote a pamphlet called My House Hurts.
Mhm.
And I think what happened in many cases is people in the house hurt without acknowledging that they hurt too.
Oh, okay.
Mama survived daddy's death and mama get back into functioning, and then the kids start acting out, and really they're acting out in grief,
Okay.
and mom does not recognize
Oh,
that as grief. She feels she's the only one hurting. Children don't recognize that mom is still hurting.
okay.
And so when you don't recognize that other people are hurting, you're acting out, whether you're the parent to the child or the child to the parent, creates another whole dynamic of pain. A mother said to me last week, one of my children is beginning to act differently toward me. And she didn't realize that she did some things in her recovery process that those kids saw.
I see.
And now they're 3, 4 years later at another age group processing what they saw differently.
Okay.
And so I scheduled a session with them. And I said to her, don't schedule this session unless you're willing to do 2 more after and be willing to have some hard conversation.
Okay. All right.
I'm hoping she says yes.
Okay.
The tragedy of all of this, if you want to be, let me be racial, is that Black folk don't want to go for help. They want to believe they're okay. And they think that going for counseling means I'm crazy.
Mhm.
Going for counseling keep you from going crazy.
Okay.
And this is what I'm constantly trying to let people know, that just because you got a counselor, one lady whose family experienced tragedy, um, her daughter acted out in a life-threatening way, and the girl was placed in the mental ward. Well, in the daughter's process of healing, she revealed some things that mom did not want the world to know. So mom took her out of counseling. Now this child is on a downward spiral,
Okay.
and
So
I'm so afraid.
in an ideal world, mom would have come for the counseling and set in the process of family uh, therapy or group therapy. And she and the daughter could have hashed some things out, possibly,
That
in
would
the
be
ideal world.
that would be the ideal.
Yeah.
But most people, who was that, Carl Jung maybe, that said the journey within is the hardest journey to take.
Oh, okay.
And so that means I've got to look back and reflect on what I did wrong.
Okay.
I've got to admit to my child I was wrong.
Okay.
And I think you and I have had the conversation, my wife and I have had the conversation, that there are some parents that need to honestly apologize to their children. That I didn't know. I was young. I was foolish. I was drunk. I was high. Acknowledge that I messed up
Yeah.
when I was raising you, and I'm sorry. That's all a lot of kids are waiting to hear. Mama say, I'm sorry. I did not mean to live in front of you the way I did.
So first would come the introspection,
Mhm,
and then would come maybe apology or a hard conversation
mhm,
between the parent and the child, if that's the case. Okay. Now, in a previous interview, the race issue came up that we have had a history of being hurt and keep going, hurt, keep going, hurt and keep going. Whatever happened in slavery, it was normalized,
mhm,
and it was normal for us as Black people to be dehumanized. And so it's like a wounded animal. You just keep trudging on,
mhm.
trying to survive.
Well, I use the analogy all the time that the devil does not want us dead.
Oh,
He wants us wounded.
okay.
Because wounded people stink.
Oh,
Wounds don't heal. Wounds are unsightly. And wounded people wound other people.
and
We,
people, the average person does not want to be around those kind of people. So sorry.
but there are sisters, our brothers, our cousins,
Yeah, yeah,
our pew partners at church. We are surrounded by hurting people. And people like us hurting because I can talk about your hurt and not have opportunity to talk about mine.
yeah. Okay.
I could focus all my energy on, child, what you going through, rather than what we are going through.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for bringing your expertise and your experience to the aspects of C3. And um, you can come back anytime.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
Glad to
yeah.
be out, glad to hang out with you
Okay.
and share what the Lord has given me.
Okay. Well, this has been Reverend Oscar Crear with New Tiberia Baptist Church. He's also a funeral home chaplain and
All of the above.
all of the above, and also the founder of
Leap of Faith,
Leap of Faith and
Church Consultants, and
the chaplain.
Fellowship of Funeral Home Chaplains.
Yes. And so he's busy in the community all the time, uh, helping hurting people, being present with them, preaching to them, pastoring to them, being a chaplain to them. And so we are just really grateful to have him here with us. Thank you again.